We are in quite unprecedented times. 2020 has been a year of unprecedented reckoning and reconciliation with ourselves, with our priorities, through an immense amount of restriction. And while it's been a challenging year, fundamentally, in terms of our belief systems, our values, and our priorities, it's also been consistent. And that sounds like a weird adjective or descriptor to give to 2020, but it's been consistently challenging, consistently restrictive, consistently painful, based in the fact that we are experiencing this massive paradigm shift and calling into an awakening or an ascension, ascended consciousness, and a growth and shifts in our beliefs, in who we are, and what matters to us. So many people are seeking meaning and understanding and asking the question, the big question of why? Why is this going on? What's happening to me? What's important to me? What's valuable to me? And while that might sound a bit self centered, it's really, really essential to looking at our overall purpose and meaning. And for me, in my personal practice and also in working with clients, what I do know is that excavating space, getting down to the root causes and conditions that create disease, frustration, anxiety, fear, pain, aggravation, agitation, anger, hate, jealousy, whatever it may be that is underlying myself and my spirit, that is ego driven, that keeps me playing small in that small version of me, that keeps me underestimating my innate wisdom, my soul's calling, my soul's call to show up, to evolve, to grow, and to ascend into higher consciousness. Your soul's call. Those are the big questions. And really, this month in December, I've been milling over a lot of that stuff. And I've been working intensively in preparation for a workshop I'm offering on Sunday, December 20th, called Declutter 2020, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, where we do a deep dive and we deconstruct all aspects of ourselves and our experience this year, looking at the triumphs and looking at the challenges, and being able to hold honest space to either generate a place of peace, acceptance, honoring what has transpired, or to be able to just frame it in a way where you confront it, or we confront it healthfully, wholly, to give it the attention and intention it deserves, so we can transition effectively with clarity and with a solid foundation into 2021. 2021 is not going to be consistent. And again, like I said, even though 2020 feels inconsistent, it feels like there's no normal. The new normal is a big question mark. It's frightening. There has been a consistency in the restriction and constriction that we felt, in the confrontation of ourselves and our priorities and our pains. Whereas 2021 brings in, it ushers in a drastically different energy. And if we're looking at that from the numerology and the astrology, just the basics of that, whether you believe in that, understand it, know it or not, the numerology shifts from a 4 to a 5. 4, draw a 4 on your piece of paper. It's angular, it's linear, it looks like a chart, it looks like a graph. It's all about process, order, prioritizing, creating a solid foundation, clearing clutter. It's very masculine, it's very direct. That's the astrology we've been in. Capricorn. Capricorn is like the 4. It's about goal setting. It's about breaking up systems so everything is functional, everything makes sense. So there's that angular masculine energy that has come in 2020, and it's come through pain. It's come through an emotional decluttering and release and surrender and fight. It's come with a lot of fight. That energy, the 4 energy, the Capricorn, the massive earth energy, is productive. It's practical. It's tangible. It's get down to basics. I mean, you can hear the intonation when I communicate about that. The five energy and the energy we are shifting into, the era we are shifting into, is truly the age of air. It's the age of Aquarius. And air is not earth. Earth is practical, realistic, make a list, check it twice, execute it, move on to the next task. Air is intellect. Air is thought process. Air is innovation. It's creativity. It is creating something out of the air, creating something out of nothing. And so it shifts dynamically. It changes on a dime. The five energy is quite similar to that in numerology. The five is about dynamic adventure, change. It's about chaos and drama. It's about detours and being able to embrace the detours as opportunities to redirect you in a higher state of being or calling. The five is ultimately about freedom. Air creates freedom, spaciousness, more opportunity to innovate, to get curious, to change your mind, change your perspective. And so next year is going to challenge us in vastly different ways than 2020 has. But for those of us who are on the path of awakening and choosing to evolve, choosing to respond to our call, and none of that has to be challenging. It's really in a willingness, in an openness to learn, to connect, to explore, to see things in different perspectives and communicate that with yourself, with your higher self. If there's ever been a time to learn how to truly collaborate with your higher self, your higher power, the divine, whatever your spiritual basis and beliefs are, this is the time. And it's not just about lip service, it's about learning how to interconnect, turn it over, and move forward effectively, with intention and with deliberation, but also to receive, to simultaneously receive. So to move forward in an energy that feels efficient, that is not wasteful, while also receiving. And that receiving can be love, joy, happiness, peace, stability, security. It can be so many things. But the important thing is to be able to sit back, hold space for all of the lessons, the challenging ones and the beautiful ones that have come out of 2020, so we can move into 2021 not only with a greater sense of clarity and a solid foundation, but a sense of wonderment. I'm excited for 2020. I have this sense of hope. I'm a little scared because I don't know what it's going to bring, but what I do know is whatever transpires is totally divine. It is intelligently orchestrated. Time is speeding up, time is changing. And for most of us, when that happens, we have emotional responses that sometimes can break us down. They can challenge us. They can really create that dark night of the soul. This is not easy stuff, but it's stuff that we incarnated onto this planet for. And I believe that. I believe innately those of us who are on this planet came here to grow, to take this opportunity to find and create meaning, because our personal meaning, and I believe this wholeheartedly, our personal meaning affects the collective. And we came here to love more, to create a greater sense of compassion, and to also share that connection with other people, to find joy, even in the restriction and the tragedy, but to also find a sense of faith that interconnects the human aspects of us, the ego, the body, the mind, the emotional self, with our higher consciousness and with the consciousness of the collective. And that's what next year is going to ask us to do. So I encourage you, if you have not signed up for the workshop and would like to participate, it's on December 20th. We've got a great group. We only have a few more slots left. We're going to close that out this week. So please participate. But the other piece to it that I'm so excited about, I've worked my behind off on this, is I created a really extensive e-workbook. And if you don't want to participate in the workshop, absolutely, like, no big deal. But the workbook is designed not only to accompany this workshop, but it's designed for December of 2020, January, February, and March of 2021. So it doesn't matter if you get the e-workbook and you start working on it in January or February. For a lot of us, we may not be ready to assess 2020. And that's okay. That makes a lot of sense. Some of us need to cross the threshold into 2021, into January and into February, to get our breath, to get our bearings, to reset, so we can actually have that perspective to look back, hold space. So it doesn't matter when you purchase the workbook. It will be for sale next week. So if you're not interested in the workshop, no big deal. The workbook will be available, and it's incredible. It's very extensive, very introspective. It also has a numerology look back on 2020, an astrology look back on 2020, and then 2021 outlooks and overviews, tips and tools, journal prompts, the whole works into 2021 for both the astrology and numerology, alongside of the entire soul pathology or deconstruction of the dis-ease around the mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual or energetic components of ourselves. So it's very thorough. It's totally applicable into 2021. And I encourage you, if the workshop is not for you, and working collectively within a group, to get this and do it on your own. It will be available later this week. I'll put some posts on social media and, of course, in my newsletter. But I just wanted to reach out. If you want to sign up for the workshop, please do. We have a few spaces left, and we'll be closing that out this week. Otherwise, I want to encourage all of you to spend a little bit time in the next couple of weeks. We have a massive eclipse on Monday, the 14th. It's in Sagittarius, and it's positive. It's coupled with Mercury. So there's lots of intellectual air energy in it, and then all the fire and optimism and hope and leaps of faith and freedom that are associated with Sag. Oh, we need this infiltration of positivity. And eclipses, remember, they impact us for 6 months. So this is a great time to start setting some intentions, looking towards the next 6 months in terms of what it is that you really want to affect and see happen in your life, and also what gifts you want to give to the world, how you want to show up and be of service in your why, in your meaning. So anyway, I hope everyone has a wonderful week. I'm sending you so much love and so much peace. Take care, everybody.